Let me introduce my guest, Kerry Picket from the Washington Times, who, as you know, is a regular on FoxNews.com, as is Eric Yaverbaum. And your website is readtovote.org, is that correct?
Yeah, I have readtovote.org.
Tell us about that. What can we find there?
I'm trying to get the entire country to read bills before we argue about them. See what we're voting on, because nobody does it, including the people we send to D.C.
Can we just get them shorter, though? Because, I don't know, my schedule keeps me a little busy. I don't know about 2,700 pages. I can fit into my reading for Fox News.
That's the problem. I mean, nobody's reading them. That truly is a problem.
Well, also, I think it also comes down to the fact that a lot of these bills happen to be written by these lawyers who go into these legalese type of language that many people don't understand. Right, these policy
staffers, right, Kerry?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I go through them. Sometimes I have to go to friends of mine who are lawyers and like, what exactly does this mean? I mean,
well, that's after you put all the tabs on it. Skip down to this agenda, to this amendment, to this clause, to this change. You got to be a lawyer.
What you're saying is you can't trust the talking points that are... So typically what happens on the Hill is you have the policy staff, which, as you pointed out, Kerry, they're attorneys. They write this mumbo-jumbo. They draft these long, complicated bills. And then the press staff breaks it down into these simple bullets. But oftentimes we miss a lot of the important bullets.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. And we're talking about going back to bills that were made perhaps 5 or 10 years ago. And then those bills reference you back to other bills that were made years ago. So, you know, I think it's wonderful that these politicians should read the bills. But in the same light, you know, you really begin to wonder how much red tape do we have to go through in terms of the bills being passed.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but I mean, you know what you have going on in D.C. is that the congressman or the senator that is voting on the bill has cobbled together through what, 20 people on their staffs, different, you know, opinions about different sections of the bill. That's where they're getting their opinion. I read the health care bill just to make a point here. It took me, what, a week and a half, like a full-time job, a week and a half to read the bill. Nobody has that time. So you're right.
I don't even know if they actually even get that far into it where they read the notes from all the staffers. Typically, it seems to me, when I worked on the Hill, it was like a, how should I vote this one? Vote yay, vote nay by their staffer. And are we in favor of this? Are constituents going to like it, yes or no? And then that's how they pull the lever.
Yeah, and here's the 5 points that you should make that go along with your vote. Make sure that you make them.
Right, exactly. Here are your points to make at the press conference where you can pretend like you know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And not only that, but we're talking about a lot of these staffers. If you remember, when you were there, you'd have an expert who was a thing on, say, healthcare, and an expert, say, who was someone very good in, say, tort reform, and so on and so forth. It wasn't as if you had policy staffers who were going to be just going through, say, the entire healthcare thing and know exactly what they knew what they were reading.
Right.